Can you really turn a few bucks spent at Goodwill into hundreds or even thousands of dollars each month? The internet is full of stories about incredible thrift store finds that sell for huge profits. But for the average American, trying to replicate those viral successes can feel like chasing a unicorn. What we're going to uncover today isn't about one-off lottery wins. It's about building a consistent, realistic income stream. Many people, just like you, are consistently making an extra $500 to $1,000 per month by strategically flipping thrift store finds. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but a legitimate side hustle requiring smart sourcing and a bit of elbow grease. The key is understanding market demand and where to find items with real resale value, which we'll dive into next. So, what exactly should you be hunting for in those crowded thrift store aisles? Forget about dusty decorative plates or ripped t-shirts. We're looking for items with a proven resale market. Think branded clothing, especially vintage or unique pieces from names like Levi's, Patagonia, or even specific graphic tees. Electronics, particularly vintage gaming consoles or specific audio equipment, can fetch surprising prices if tested and working. High-quality homeware, like Pyrex dishes, Le Creuset cookware, or specific mid-century modern decor, also performs well. Books, especially first editions, niche nonfiction, or collectible series, are consistent sellers. A good rule of thumb is to look for items that are either niche, durable, branded, or vintage. Knowing what to pass on is just as important as knowing what to pick up, and that comes down to market research. Before you even consider buying something, you need to do a quick market check. This is where your smartphone becomes your best friend. Apps like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercury allow you to search for completed sales of similar items. Look for the sold listings, not just active ones, to see what buyers are actually paying. For example, if you find a vintage Pyrex bowl for $5, quickly check eBay's sold listings. If similar bowls are consistently selling for $35 to $50, you've likely found a winner. If they're selling for $10, your profit margin after fees and shipping will be minimal, making it a poor choice. This quick research prevents you from buying duds and ensures every item you pick up has a high probability of turning a profit. But what about the platforms to sell on? Once you snag your treasures, where do you sell them? For a broad range of items, eBay remains king. Its vast audience and established buyer protections make it ideal for everything from vintage electronics to collectible dinnerware. For clothing, especially branded and fashion-forward pieces, Poshmark and Mercury are excellent choices, offering a more curated shopping experience. Local sales can be handled via Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, which are great for larger items that are expensive to ship, like furniture. Each platform has its own fee structure, so factor that into your pricing. For instance, eBay generally takes around 13.25% in final value fees for most categories, plus a fixed fee of 30 cents per order. PayPal fees are no longer a separate cost, as eBay manages payments directly. Poshmark takes a flat 20% on sales over $15. Understanding these costs is crucial for accurate profit calculations. Pricing isn't just about what similar items sold for. It's about maximizing your profit while remaining competitive. Always start with your initial cost. If you bought a vintage jacket for $15 and shipping might be $10, and platform fees are 15% of the sale price, you need to factor all that in. A $75 selling price, for example, would yield about $11.25 in fees, Poshmark, and $10 in shipping, leaving you with $53.75. Subtract your $15 initial cost, and you're at a $38.75 profit. Don't be afraid to price slightly higher than the average if your item is in excellent condition or particularly rare. You can always lower the price later. Be strategic. Sometimes a slightly lower price means a quicker sale, freeing up cash to buy more inventory. It's a balance, and experience refines your intuition. A common mistake new flippers make is underestimating the power of presentation. A dirty or slightly damaged item will sell for significantly less if it sells at all. Invest a little time in cleaning and minor repairs. For clothing, a quick wash, stain treatment, and wrinkle removal can increase its value by 20 to 50%. For electronics, a thorough dusting and surface cleaning can make it look almost new. Small repairs, like reattaching a loose button or polishing tarnished metal, are often easy and cost-effective. You're not trying to be a professional restorer. You're simply making the item presentable and functional. This small effort transforms a used item into a well-cared-for item, justifying a higher price point and attracting more buyers. Don't skip this critical step, or you'll leave money on the table. In the online reselling world, your photos are your storefront. Poor photos are a guaranteed way to deter buyers. You don't need a fancy camera. Your smartphone is perfectly adequate. Focus on good lighting. Natural daylight near a window is usually best. Use a clean, neutral background. Take multiple angles, highlighting any unique features and, crucially, any flaws. Be transparent about wear and tear. It builds trust. For clothing, consider using a mannequin or hanging it neatly to show its fit. The goal is to make the item look as appealing and accurate as possible. Remember, buyers can't touch or feel the product, so your photos and description are their only information. High-quality images communicate professionalism and attention to detail, which translates into quicker sales and higher prices. It's a small investment of time for a big return. Your product description is where you seal the deal. Be thorough, honest, and keyword-rich. Start with a clear, concise title that includes brand, item type, size, and any key features. For example, Vintage Levi's 501 Jeans Men's 32 by 30 Distressed Denim, made in USA. In the description itself, detail the item's condition, measurements, especially for clothing, materials, and any unique aspects. Mention any flaws up front to manage buyer expectations and avoid returns. Use bullet points for readability. Think about what a buyer would want to know if they couldn't see the item in person. Keywords are vital for searchability. Organically weave in terms buyers might use. A comprehensive description reduces questions, builds buyer confidence, and ultimately leads to more successful sales. Don't undersell your item by providing insufficient detail. One of the biggest myths around flipping thrift store finds is that it's a path to instant riches with minimal effort. While those viral stories of finding a $5 painting worth $50,000 are exciting, they are extreme outliers. For most people, this side hustle is about consistent, smaller profits that add up over time. You won't get rich overnight, and there will be items that don't sell as quickly or for as much as you hoped. It requires patience, persistence, and continuous learning. Expect to put in several hours a week for sourcing, cleaning, listing, and shipping. It's a grind, but a rewarding one if you approach it with realistic expectations and a long-term mindset. Don't let the highlight reels fool you. Consistent effort, not luck, is the real driver of monthly profit. Here's a common and costly mistake: buying bad inventory. This happens when you pick up items just because they're cheap without doing your market research. You might think, this vase is only $2, someone will buy it. But if similar vases never sell for more than $5, you'll barely break even after fees and shipping, or worse, lose money. This leads to a closet full of unsold items, tying up your initial capital and valuable storage space. I've personally seen flippers get stuck with dozens of items they bought on impulse, only to realize there's no demand. Always check sold listings before you buy. A $5 item that sells for $15 isn't worth your time. A $5 item that sells for $45 island. Avoid the trap of cheap junk. Focus on profitable potential. This is how you avoid losing money and motivation. Let's walk through a realistic monthly profit example. Imagine you dedicate 10 to 15 hours a week to this. You source 20 items, 10 pieces of branded clothing, 5 vintage homewares, and 5 small electronics. Your average cost per item is $8. That's $160 in inventory. Let's say you sell 15 of those items within a month. Average sale price for clothing, $30. Homewares, $40. Electronics, $50. Total revenue from 15 items, $10*$30 plus 5*$40 plus 5*$50 equals $300 plus $200 plus $250 equals $750. But since you only sold 15 items, your effective revenue is $5*$30 plus 5*$40 plus 5*$50 equals $150 plus $200 plus $250 equals $600. Let's assume average fees platform plus shipping are 25% of the sale price, which is $150. Your net revenue is $450. Subtract your inventory cost for those 15 items. $8 asterisk 15 equals $120. Your profit is $330. Not quite $500, but with more items or higher value finds, it quickly scales up. If you bought 20 items and sold 15, you still have 5 items for next month. Selling 25 to 30 items a month with an average $20 to $30 profit per item puts you right in that $500 to $1,000 range. It's achievable with consistency, as you can see, but it requires diligent work. Once you've got the hang of sourcing and selling a few items, how do you scale up to consistently hit that $500 to $1,000 monthly profit? First, refine your sourcing strategy. Identify which thrift stores in your area consistently yield good finds and visit them regularly. Expand your knowledge into new categories. Maybe you start with clothing, then branch into vintage toys or collectible media. Consider buying in bulk if you find a good deal, but only if you're sure of the resale value. Automate what you can. Create templates for descriptions, streamline your cleaning process, and set specific days for shipping. The more efficient you become, the more volume you can handle. Building relationships with store managers can also sometimes lead to early access to donations. Consistency and efficiency are your allies in growing this side hustle into a substantial income stream. Flipping thrift store finds is a legitimate and accessible side hustle for everyday Americans looking to boost their income. It requires patience, strategic sourcing, honest descriptions, and consistent effort. But the potential for an extra $500 to $1,000 per month is absolutely realistic. By focusing on market research, smart pricing, and excellent presentation, you can transform forgotten items into valuable assets. It's not about luck. It's about learning and applying practical strategies to build a sustainable income. If you found this guide helpful for your financial journey, please consider subscribing for more realistic side hustle ideas and money-making strategies that fit into your busy life.